All right, yeah, I just want to talk real quick about a build that's kind of interesting to me that may be viable in season two. So we just learned a lot of new things, and I had a few ideas before this came out, but the changes to damage buckets, of course, changed a lot of what was going to be optimal. So this is my first take at what might be truly ridiculous, hopefully, with any luck. So just as always, the ridiculous barbarian builds are going to exploit um, infinite damage scaling with Berserk Ripping. I don't want to say infinite. It's an exponential growth because of the feedback Berserk Ripping. And since we're going to be designing this build for killing bosses, we're not going to use Skullbreaker. We're going to use, there it is, Rupture. So I'll first talk about that. The build is actually going to need to maintain Berserking, so I've got Combat Lunging Strike and Furious Double Swing. So we'll keep Berserking up with that. We need to Rupture as frequently as possible, so I have 5 ranks. And I've taken just about everything I can that has some sort of multiplicative damage that will apply to Rupture. Counteroffensive works, Cut to the Bone works. Um, I should say applies to the Berserk Ripping that comes out of Rupture. So, um, yeah, counteroffensive, and where was it? Cut to the Bone. Um, the Gushing Wounds, we don't know yet if this is going to get changed. They didn't mention it. Seems like an oversight, but the critical strike damage has all been converted to part of the additive bucket. But the way that Gushing Wounds is worded, it seems like it will still be a multiplicative bonus. So that's pretty overpowered. Excited about that. And then Wrath of the Berserker should increase your damage, including berserking damage, berserk ripping damage, I mean. So we're going to use that. Specifically time that for when the boss is staggered. I have a video I'll link, which I killed Elias at level 51 doing this. Similar, it wasn't with Rupture, but I did use Wrath of the Berserker, and I used Double Swing. So this is going to exploit a few cool facts about when bosses are staggered. They count as all the crowd control types, so Double Swing will get this refund on the boss when it's staggered. So we can just spam Double Swing. We're going to get the boss staggered really quickly by using Ground Stomp, and Anemia, when the boss is bleeding, will be stunning frequently. Ground Stomp will help get us to that staggered state really quickly. And right before they're staggered, we will Wrath of the Berserker and start spamming uh, Double Swing. And as frequently as possible, we will use Rupture. So if you get 10 ranks in Rupture, I think we'll have 9, by the way. Um, you can get the cooldown to about 5.5, or in our case, I believe 6 seconds. We're going to have 20% cooldown reduction on the Fields of Crimson if we use it, and we'll have 10% cooldown reduction on Necklace and 10% on the Helm, I believe. So that should get it down to about 5 seconds cooldown. If you don't rupture in uh, more frequently than that, your previous ruptures, berserk ripping bleed will fall off and you will fail to have a feedback loop. So we need to decrease that cooldown even farther. And I'm going to go switch panes to the skills to show how we're going to do that. All right, so I'm running a lot of uniques. I'm going to try to exploit the fact that we're going to be able to target farm a lot of these. Obviously, Grandfather is like the #1 goal. This is another important question here. Increases your critical strike damage by 100%. Will that affect gushing wounds or not? I don't know. If it does, that's incredible. But if not, maybe still very good. Obviously, this could be Fields of Crimson, if not the Grandfather. Um, Ramalani's Magnum Opus is going to get a buff. It's already my favorite sword, so that's good. And we're also going to use the Butcher's Cleaver. So this will melt the boss's stagger meter really quickly. Every time we crit, it will, on lucky hit, make the boss feared. Um, Bosses can't be feared, so it'll just do a ton of stagger damage instead, and hopefully that'll happen really frequently. We don't have a very high crit rate, unlike Whirlwind, but we're going to fix that with, where is it? Right here, Terror. So when the boss is staggered, they count as feared, which means we're going to have a 100% crit chance on them, which means we're going to proc Butcher's Cleaver. Stupid thing to say, boss is already staggered, we don't need to proc that. What I meant to say is, hopefully Terror, by giving us a 100% crit chance, will make Gushing Wounds crit every single time we make somebody bleed. Again, not something I've tested. Depending on the coding, that may not work, but if it does, that'll be awesome. Um, so Terror, yeah, what else have we got? We start the fight by dodging through the boss to give them the curse. The curse will increase their dot damage they take by 60%. It'll also make them count as vulnerable, so we get another 20%-ish or more just for them being vulnerable, plus the 16% for Prey on the Weak. And then Undying, so we'll be spamming skills really quickly. We're going to have Accelerating. We're going to have attack speed from several sources, so hopefully we'll be attacking fast enough to keep our health topped off. That'll keep our Temerity barrier full. And in order to help keep our barrier full, we will be using Iron Skin, aspect of the Iron Warrior. Will break any CC that's applied to us and give us additional damage reduction. I've been told that when you put up a barrier, it snapshots all of your current damage reduction. So even after Iron Skin fades, maybe we will keep the aspect of the Iron Warrior DR as long as Temerity takes over before that barrier falls. Maybe in that way we can just keep this DR up all the time. That would be very nice. If it does work like that, I might want to switch rubies to topaz, and potentially if you pop your Iron Skin to get out of ground control, you'll have this damage reduction as long as the barrier stays up, even after it switches to Temerity. I don't know. Looks like that. We have a lot of things to test. I've taken Earthquake aspect and conceded because they give a bonus damage to everything you do, not just your skills, not just your core skills, everything. That includes Berserk Ripping. We've put Berserk Ripping on the two-hand slot because we need as much as we can out of this. Rupture will consume all of the bleed, so we need to reapply with Berserk Ripping at least that whole bleed. If we can reapply double what we consumed, and do that every 2 seconds, and the boss is staggered for 8 seconds, maybe we can we can improve or increase the bleed by 2 to the 4th or 16, and then at that point we'll probably be rupturing for like hopefully the boss's entire health pool. And we know what that looked like from last time. Barber. This isn't going to be anywhere near as crazy as Barber, but this is the sort of interaction I'm going for, so hopefully it works. Obviously, we've got Anemia to increase the stuns and the chance that we stagger the boss. Weapon Master will also increase the stuns, as well as give us a much-needed second charge of Rupture. I've got Rage of Harrogath here because, like I said, we need to cast Rupture more frequently. We need to decrease the cooldown even more than what we've got just with ranks and cooldown reduction. I believe this will make a huge difference. Obviously, people don't really run this because it's missing a lot of damage reduction that you would need in order to stay alive. So we might need to adjust this. Same story down here with Temerity. People don't run that because historically it's hard to keep it up and you lose a lot of DR because you're not using like ideal pants with all the affixes. But I think in this season, given the additional ways that we can maintain our health, maybe this is actually going to at last be BIS. Hopefully it is. Anyway, that's the build. I got a lot of different weird things going on that have not been tested, and obviously it's just been like a few hours since the patch notes and the fireside chat, so who knows what'll happen. Regardless, it's very exciting and definitely got my work cut out for me. It's going to be a lot of fun. So maybe I'll just start this build when I first make my character. It looks like it would be pretty good for leveling up as well. and then I can, as I'm going along, just start testing this stuff, not have to save that all for level 100. I did not build out my Paragon board yet, but probably going to get a lot of armor and life, and Blood Rage has some great stuff for berserking. Uh, I was interested in Overpower, but maybe that'll be a different build. Carnage, look at that. Yeah, put some more time into this. Anyway, maybe I'll make another better post later. I just wanted to get this out as soon as I can because I'll be busy for the rest of the night and wanted to share this exciting idea with as many people as possible. Yeah, picked up a lot of cooldown reduction, max fury, berserk duration, damage while injured. That might get snapshotted, hopefully, into the barrier. Damage while berserking, and hopefully, if gushing wounds doesn't work out, I can take the berserking key passive, and I think I forget which new ability is or which part of the Paragon board it is, but the 25% of this is going to become multiplicative, so that's nice too. Yeah, strength is going to boost the eruption that comes out of rupture. Crit strike damage might not be the best choice here, but depending on how gushing wounds works and grandfather works, maybe it is. Yeah. Anyway, that's all I got for now. Sorry, it's kind of a brief, kind of unpracticed video, but uh, that's all I have time for. So let me know what you think. Hope you enjoyed it.